Yay, we're live!
Hey,
Woo! How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing super. I'm doing just great. It's
I'm doing super.
it's Wednesday
I like
night.
it.
We're halfway through the week. Oh man, the weekend. Can't come fast enough. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. What a good way to break up the week than the backwards compatible podcast.
Of course. There's no better way to do it. I wouldn't
Ain't that the truth?
yeah, exactly. So, we're here, and it's just you and me right now. Isn't that weird? It's usually other
Oh, oh,
people.
oh, this is like my chance to put the moves on you one on one.
Oh, Chris, you can wine and dine me anytime you want. Are you sure your wife's not gonna mind? There
Well,
you go.
she's just going to have to deal with it.
It's true, exactly. You can't stop this. What we have,
Uh,
it's too magical. It's like a Disney movie up in
oh,
here.
it's be like,
Wow, you have such amazing hair. You be Rapunzel, and I will be that guy that's in Rapunzel.
that guy that no one remembers from that movie.
Because I never saw it. Does that make me a bad person?
You've never seen Tangled?
I've never seen Tangled. No.
It's It's actually pretty good. Then again, you'd never seen Frozen either till I made you watch it.
I don't know if you made me. I was just like, I think I want to watch this movie. But then you were like, do it. You like encouraged me. Like I want to watch Tangled. I just haven't had the encouragement yet. Will you be that encouragement?
Well, thank you for giving me the benefit of the doubt, because, yeah, I pretty much told you need to watch it or our friendship is over.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a pretty big encouragement. Say, is either watch it or you're dead to me. Like,
There you go.
okay.
Get your ass out of my Google Hangouts.
Yes, sir. We're
No,
good.
Tangled is good. Tangled is pretty good.
Okay.
It's pretty much, I don't know, I feel like it's along the same veins. It's pretty entertaining.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
doesn't have, there's no Olaf this time around, unfortunately.
Not sure how I feel
But
about that then.
yeah, because Olaf was definitely the best thing about Frozen. But let's see. I guess the closest that you come to having an Olaf inside of Tangled is probably, I guess, the little chameleon. There's like a little chameleon thing named Pascal. He doesn't ever talk though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll check it out sometime. Wow. Oof. See, in the bottom corner of my thing, it says 0 viewers, and yet I open the Q&A, and there's already people talking. Wow. Jeez. Thanks, Google. Let's see. You got Jason who says, "Can someone post a question and say when the show has started? Last time I didn't get video or audio for a while into the show. That sucks." Well, we're here now, and then
Howdy, howdy.
Deco and Oscar are here. Oscar says show is on. Okay, so he was letting him know. Good, we're catching up here. Um, we can't stop. He's okay. Yeah, and what are you buying? He's selling. Oh, Resident Evil 4. Deco says, I have also never seen Tangled. I really should. It's true, you should, and so should I. Meanwhile, Andrew Rudder also tells us to watch Tangled, or me, because you've seen it. He doesn't need to tell you. You know what's going on, man.
Yeah, dude, are you kidding? I watch that movie like every other week.
Oof. Wow, that's passion for...
It's on. Well, I mean, it's on like ABC Family, which we
Oh,
either. Well, cause of my boy, cause of my little boy.
that's
We
true.
always have
Right.
it on Disney Junior, ABC Family, or Nick Jr.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Why don't you just like put on HBO? I mean, I'm sure that there's lots of pretty colors in things like Game of Thrones. I
There
mean,
you go. So we can watch, the incesty banging.
yeah, exactly. And you could
There
say
you
like, this
go.
is bad. You don't have any siblings. Don't do that. But you're okay. Also, don't murder people, even though the costumes look really nice. It's entertaining television.
Yes. Yes,
Um,
sir. I'll tell you what. That's our
yeah.
Game of Thrones, man. They hit all the bases. They hit as many as they can in a single episode. Let's see. Okay, murder, check. Okay,
Okay.
cool. Rape, check. Okay, incest, check.
Uh-huh.
Regicide, check. Okay, we're good.
Why am I not watching this right now? And Tangled, back to back. Because obviously that's what a sane person does. It's like, I'm going to watch a couple episodes of Game of Thrones. You know what? Now it's time for Tangled, and then back to Game of Thrones. Could do that.
Well, I tell you what, you would need, I think, a little bit of some sort of a Disney film in between, because from what I understand, Game of Thrones is a harrowing experience. It's like they take your feels and beat it into a bloody pulp. and then
Wow.
once it's healed, you beat it again into a bloody hole.
Oh, delicious. That's just the best way to do it. Yeah, I think you would need something to break it up. Uh, Deco says, oh, well, you're still there. Oh, you're frozen face. Man, you are a robot tonight. I am scared. Is this like, is this how Terminator starts? I'm scared. Somebody please help me. War of the Machines is beginning. Where's John Connor? Oh God, now I'm alone. They took him away. They took him. What do I do? Oh, I've gotta rely. I'm gonna rely on you guys. Okay, Deco, what do you got? Who would win in a fight between Rapunzel and Scott O'Connor, the main character of the NES side-scroller Kabuki Quantum Fighter? You know what? I have seen nor played either of those. I'm gonna go with the guy that's from Kabuki Quantum Fighter because he sounds like he can do some damage. You know, Rapunzel just has a lot of hair. I mean, well, then again, Bayonetta kicks a lot of ass, and she has a lot of hair. I'm not entirely sure. It's a toss-up. You might as well just flip a coin, call it good. Just do it that way. Deco, keeping me going, say Game of Thrones won't be legit to me until it does a harem ending. Well, you know, they're not done. There's still books to be written, right? By that guy who writes them. Tolkien? No, that's not right. That's Lord of the Rings. Whatever his face is. Martin. I got it right eventually. It's okay. You guys don't need to try to kill me because I got authors wrong. I apologize. There could be a harem ending. You never know, Deco. Just keep it real. Well, hey, Chris is back. The War of the Machines, has it killed me? Because you're sounding like a robot, and I'm afraid that this is how Terminator starts.
Well, sir, I'll be back.
No, don't say that. That means you're a cyborg robot thingy. Oh,
Hey,
God.
that guy, Kyle Reese said it first, so don't worry.
True. Well, are you going to run for California governor eventually? Because I think that's the step. You say, I'll be back, and then you get elected to office.
I was gonna say, I think they're just handing it out over there.
Oh, yeah, I guess you could do that. I think you missed it.
Davis, Schwarzenegger, they're just like, hey, are you even remotely qualified? Here you go.
Here you go. Take it. Whatever.
Yeah.
We don't care.
There you go.
So you missed it out, I think, while you were gone, because I'm not sure if you could hear me, but Deco had asked a question. He had asked if, let's see, you know what? We've got answered questions here. Deco had asked who would win in a fight between Rapunzel and Scott O'Connor, the main character of the NES side-scroller Kabuki Quantum Fighter. Now, he's given us some more stuff. He says O'Connor's main weapon is his long red Kabuki hair. So, now that we have information, who would win in a fight? You probably know Rapunzel more than me. I know nothing about either of them.
Well, Rapunzel is very handy with a frying pan, so I will tell you that.
Oh.
But if we're going for the hair fighters, there's also Milia Rage from Guilty Gear.
Mm-hmm.
There's also
I brought up Bayonetta.
From the Inhumans. Oh, Bayonetta. There you go. That's another good one. Although she does, I mean, well, no, she does. She does fight with the hair.
She does. She summons hair demons. Because
hair demons.
What else do you do when you're a witch?
She also wears it.
She does. She wears it. You know, she can.
She does wear her hair.
She does it. So I guess I don't really know who would win in that fight. It's a toss-up. I mean.
Well, because I'm not really familiar with that Kabuki guy, but I will say Rapunzel does lay some dudes out.
Okay.
She lays the bitches out in that movie, so I think she's got a strong showing.
Yeah. Well, we've also got another question here from Andrew. Says, how much will the hosts argue about the best character in Hyrule Warriors?
Oh.
Could get heated, man. I don't know.
Oh, we're gonna.
Who are you looking forward to playing the most, man? Tell me. Lay it down smooth.
Come on, you don't already know this.
You're gonna be playing as Fee.
No.
I don't know. Who are you gonna be, man? Who are you gonna be?
Like, what have I been saying that I wanted for Hyrule Warriors since we even started talking about characters?
Girahim.
No.
Oh.
You know me at all?
Sheik?
God. Who? What?
But okay, sorry, Princess Rudo.
Okay, that's pretty good. Daruni is definitely my number one, but yeah, I definitely want Rudo also.
Yeah, I want Darunia and Girahim. I like Girahim. I thought he was a cool dude. So
Really?
yeah, I loved
I don't know,
Skyward
dude.
Sword.
Freaked me out with his tongue. Ew.
Freak you out or turn you on? Pick correct answer.
Well, Randy.
Well, you were making those eyes at me earlier, so I'm just
That's
saying
true. That's
possibilities
true.
there. Ooh, man, so you know what? We're here. Why don't we just get this party started? Whatever crazy train this is going to be, we might as
It's
well
gonna
just.
go off the rails.
We're just going to go off the rails on a crazy train.
Are you
Um,
are you purposely trying to segue into our introduction?
I am purposely trying to segue into saying greetings and welcome to the episode 8 of Backwards Compatible Podcast. We're a snazzy group of 2 guys right now with a passion for nerdy things like video games, comics, anime, the whole works. We have here last week was school supplies, and John. John is not here. I'm sorry, he had prior engagements, but he was nice enough to write up an outline for us. So even though he's not here, you don't get to see his face and listen to him talk or watch him do the chicken dance. You can he's here in spirit via his words. So his introduction thing for this week is famous/recognizable song titles. I'm just to start it out because I don't have any idea. I'm gonna at least read John's for him, um, which is John is the old-timey rock and roll of this podcast because after the funky chicken dance, the whole world wants to see him dance in his underwear like in Risky Business. Now I'm going to say that that's incorrect because I don't want to see that. I would not start a Kickstarter to have that happen.
Oh, come on, Randy.
Look, I just hate fun. I think is what it is. Like
You hate fun? Okay, that makes sense.
you see
Like,
now you know.
I got that. I got that impression from our talks.
Right.
But now
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. See exactly. If it's super boring, obviously I want to be a part of it because that is my bag. If I had to pick a famous song, oh man, like what constitutes famous? Like would it be like
Well,
something like
go with I don't know, pick a Kesha song.
yeah, I would say then we are who we are because letters can be used in exchange of words. And also
It can be used in exchange.
yeah, and my name has an S in it, like my last name has an S in it, so you could change that with a $sign. So I don't know, there's something.
Nice.
Yeah, see, I kind of did something there.
Nice.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Chris,
it works.
do you have anything? Do you have a famous or recognizable song title that describes you?
As always, I think I'm going to just try to come up with one on the fly because I don't know, it always seems like that works out better for me. Let's see. I am Chris Garcia, aka Wildcard Corsair, and I do believe if I had to pick a famous song, which is difficult because I don't listen to many, I guess it would be I Want to Be Your Lover by Prince because I want to be your lover.
Oh my God, this is getting really.
It's the racing podcast, man.
Yeah, exactly. This is what happens when you and I don't have someone to stop us, like John or Jared.
There's no one to soak up all of the unrequited tension.
You know who actually it is? It's not John. It's not Jared. It's Sailor Baylor. You know that dog.
Yeah.
That dog is just too adorable. It stops all the weirdness because we're like, she's too adorable. I don't want to mess with that. That's got its own thing. Interrupting us here in the middle of our show, Deco is shouting my name, Randy, Randy, Randy. How convenient that your name has 2 syllables and rhymes with Jerry. But Andrew, I think it's because we were fighting earlier. I don't know. This show moves at a mile a minute, and I never remember what the hell we're talking about until I watch it later.
There you go.
Andrew Rudder says he would like to play as Zelda because he can be a princess. And I'm not going to hold that against him. You know what? You go, girl. You go. You be a princess.
There you go. Oh, queen now.
Yeah, it's true. Not princess, queen. You could be Neo Queen Zelda, you know? That'd be really, really neat. Jason says he wants to play as the mailman. When is he going to be announced? I want the mailman too, dude. That's all I want. Plus, if he has the bunny hood, oh man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That guy is crazy.
Shit gets
Usain Bolt had nothing.
Yeah. Oh no, nothing. Andrew Rudder says I'm 1 week by Bare Naked Ladies because I also don't make any sense. Damn it, that's a good one.
Good one, yeah. They
Jeez.
need to be doing this show because we suck at it, man.
Yeah, see, I'm going to take this off. That's what we should do sometime. We should just turn over all of the passwords and things to our
Here
watchers,
you go.
listeners, and be like, you know what? You do a show. Show us what you can do, because obviously you have the talent. If you can do this, what I'm doing, well, anybody can do what I'm doing, so let's not
Just
make it
point
seem...
at a
Mm-hmm. You got
do
it.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all. That's all it takes. Anyway, we're very happy to have all of you here. Chris, I'm very happy to have you here. Otherwise, it would just be me. And do you know how horrible that would be for our viewers? Just me for an hour or more?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to see. Starting to see. You need a little oil to lube the gears, buddy. That's what I am. I am the grease in the wheels.
Chris, you're my lube.
I'm your Astroglide.
You are. Oh.
No. Oh, that was.
We need Sailor Baylor. We need her back.
Yes. No kidding. It's starting to get crazy.
Yeah. Whew. Well, whether you're here watching live or tuning in later, thank you everybody for joining us. Speaking of those that aren't here to live in the moment, like John and Jared, we happen to be getting our podcast on at around 9:30 p.m. Central Time on August 20th, 2014. I see John forgot to change the date, so he made me think that I went back in time. That jerk. You know what? We had an audience question last week.
It's your kids. It's your kids, Randy.
It's my kids. That's going forward in time. This is, I have to get my parents back together.
Oh, yeah.
Keep your Back to the Future straight, man. Doc Brown would be disappointed.
Whatever. Whatever.
So we had audience question, what famous folks do you admire? Now, I'm pretty sure that our main man, Andrew Rudder, had given me an answer. So I'm going to look that up while you give us your answer.
Oh, ho, ho. Oh,
Yes.
we have a new challenger.
Mm-hmm. Do we?
Yes.
Who's the new challenger?
You don't see him?
Whoa! Jared! I was checking my email. Jared! Holy crap.
What's going on, J-Rod?
Sneaking in. Sneak.
You made it. I thought you were working late and you wouldn't be able to make it on time.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm 33 minutes late, but...
You know what? We pushed it back 15 minutes because Chris has a child and children are
What?
unpredictable. I'm sorry. I know.
I've seen those pictures. It's a cute kid, like, crawling up into the truck or the car that you have, whatever you have. That was
Oh,
great.
yeah, it's my Jeep. Yeah,
Got, like,
he loves my Jeep, dude.
controller in one hand, kid in the other. Man, proud to be a dad. I mean, I have Bella. not a real child, but, you know.
And
I
I
have anyways.
have a Tamagotchi, so that's almost like having a child.
Which,
Totally.
how long did you keep that alive for?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, side story. I had a what is it? It was like a knockoff thing, like Tamagotchi sort of thing, where you just raise a dog, and it was great. I love dogs, so that worked out good. But what happened was, it is really easy for it to just fall down and just disappear. So it fell down in between some cushions and a couch, and I just lost it for a long time, and then that was really sad because, I just lost a dog in a couch. Have you ever lost one of your dogs in a couch, or a pet, or a child, or anything that you're trying to care for?
I totally lost a child in the couch once, yeah.
Okay, good. I'm not alone. That makes it feel so much better.
You're not alone.
I am not alone. I think that was... Is that an Ava thing? You are not alone. I think so. Is that 1.1?
That's a Final Fantasy song, but
Oh, okay. Well,
I
that's
don't know.
same biz.
Is that really one? Is that you cannot advance? You are not alone. I don't know.
That's 1.1. Anyway,
That doesn't sound right.
You cannot redo.
yeah, that's 3.
That doesn't. What's the first one?
I think it is You Are Not Alone.
That doesn't sound right. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna Google it because that's what you do on a live show. Yep, it is You Are Not Alone.
Oh man, I typed in the wrong number. I called it 1.22 for a second.
Jared.
Yeah, you are not alone.
You got 2s on the brain. Jared, guess what? You missed us when we were introducing ourselves as famous or recognizable song titles. Do you have a song title for yourself?
Harder, better, faster, stronger.
Sailor Baylor is not doing her job today.
No, we joked earlier that
What?
it gets weird without a filter to stop me and Chris from being weird. And it's not you and it's not John, it's your dog. Because she's too adorable.
Oh man, yeah, she's where she would be laying behind me. As those are some wall scrolls that are laid out because I was doing a piece went live today on the site of wall scrolls. Actually, I haven't even read it. I actually just pulled a open to close, so I don't know what's going on in the internet world, guys. I mean, the internet could be over. I just
Right.
don't know. I mean,
Everything was awful.
I watched Sailor Moon last night though.
Good. We're
Oh,
going to talk about that.
But anyways, yeah. The Baylor, she's actually over here to my left. She's just hanging out. Unfortunately, this isn't like Rebecca Black Friday where she's not on my right, but she's on my left right now. So it's all good.
That works. So
Mhm.
we're now on to talking about famous people we might admire.
Ooh.
Actually, I found an answer here from our viewer, listener, whatever, Andrew Rudder, who says, "Do Bill Gates and Warren Buffett count? They gave away their entire fortunes to end disease in the developing world." I mean, Chris Colfer is a world-class singer, dancer, actor, director, scriptwriter, and best-selling novelist. I'm super jealous of him and admire him. I genuinely admire Daniel Radcliffe, which is an awesome person to admire because who doesn't look up to Harry Potter? Am I right, guys?
is that how it goes? I don't know.
You
I always
don't?
thought he was
I
kind of
wanted to make a really bad
jerk, actually.
joke, but I can't. I don't even know what to come up with that.
Well,
Oh,
he was super emo all the time. He was like, wah, my mommy and daddy are dead. Wah, I was almost murdered. Wah. I don't know.
that's
I don't know. He was like, I'm not this big Harry Potter fan, but he was like the child who could not be killed, right? Like they tried, like they tried to strangle him, to drown him, and then they shot some laser beam at his face, and that
Dude,
gave him a scar.
I
Like
think
that.
you're talking about Vladimir. What was his name?
Voldemort.
Vladimir Voldemort the Third.
Vladimir. I think you're talking about Rasputin, dude. That's not. It's not
Oh,
Harry Potter.
that guy who was poisoned and then he ran out and like he was shot or something. But then like I don't know when the autopsy was done, they found him in a river. Like he actually died, like not from drowning, but from something else. It was like the best story. That was one of the best things I'll never forget. Oh man, I love that story.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, he's
It
famous.
also spawned a really awesome dance, and song.
Did he?
Yeah, look up Rasputin. It's a song. I forgot who it's by. Oh, it's so great.
I'll do that in about 40 years.
No, do it now.
No.
You know what? I'm changing it. I'm changing my intro. That is what I am. I am Rasputin by whatever band that is.
Because you're immortal?
No, because I like to get down.
Oh, well, that's fine. You can get down. Let's see here. So let's rein it back in to famous folks we admire. Chris, I'm going to turn it over to you like I said before. What famous folks do you admire?
Let's see. Well, I know that I have listed on there Michael Turner, who is an artist, comic book artist, and writer.
Ah,
He is responsible for the co-creation of Witchblade. He is responsible for the creation of Fathom and the creation of another comic called Soulfire, as well as he actually struck out and made his own comic book company that he called Aspen Comics after the main character of the Fathom comic. And he's a super cool dude. I love his drawings, his style. You know, his illustration style is really, really awesome. Very, very fine, very detailed, actually, which is pretty crazy considering his comics. They don't generally. I mean, you got to crank these things out every month.
yeah.
So, but he was super detailed. He was so talented. He was just an all-around nice guy. Super obsessed with just scuba diving, and he's a certified dive instructor. And then, unfortunately, he did get cancer, terminal, and he did pass away a number of years ago. But he is definitely one of my top I really look up to him for his spirit, the quality of his work, and just what an all-around nice guy he was to his fans. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us.
Yeah, that sucks. Even worse. Thanks for starting us out on a bummer, man.
Hey, I started with awesome. Whatever. Continue.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. I'm going to take the obvious and popular answers of the time and say Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt. Does that count? They're adorable, and they should be together forever because
And
they would
Jennifer
make.
Lawrence is cool. She just like leaves the carpet and then helps out children on the side. She's just like, "Yo, are you crying?" And then poses and selfies and like is funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And then Chris
Not
Pratt
sure.
is like the man version of that.
I'm not sure if Anna Faris would approve of
You know what?
your shipping together.
No offense, Chris Pratt. You can do better.
Ah, Anna
Sorry.
Faris is nice.
She's nice, but she's no Jennifer Lawrence. I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh, you know what? Okay, Jennifer Lawrence isn't so perfect. She played Mystique in that terrible X-Men Origins movie or whatever.
You just hate X-Men movies, so I'm not
I
gonna.
hate new X-Men movies. I like the old ones.
Oh, sure, old man, get off my lawn. Is that what you're gonna do the whole
I
show?
will totally do that.
You're like, oh, I don't even like new comics. Only ones by dead guys. Sorry.
Jerk.
Did I go too far? I'm gonna go move on.
Hey yo,
Go.
you
I had-
went too far.
See, now it's a show Jared sang. Okay, speaking of singing, I guess I would also have to say Gerard Way because he should share the talent because he can sing
Carry on.
and
Carry on.
he's a really, really good artist. He draws really well, and he like does cartoon pitches for things, and it's just
What?
like generally awesome. What, Jared?
I'm thinking of the singer, right?
Yeah, the guy.
Was I singing the right music?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, man. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, so he's awesome, and then of course I'm really inspired by.
He's my brother.
Whoa, really?
Sometimes.
Jared, what? Your last name isn't Way. You're just screwing with me.
Dude, I never told you my real last name. Everything's a lie.
Whoa, just blowing
Yo.
my mind.
Blowing your mind.
I also am inspired a lot by the works of Yoshiyuki Sadamoto, who is the character designer and manga author and illustrator of Evangelion, as well as did all the character design and like cover art and stuff for Dot Hack stuff. And then of course Akira Toriyama, because I have an obsession and I'm a weirdo. So that's mine. That leaves you, Jared. Who are your dudes or ladies? Because it could be any of them.
Ladies. Where's that outline? Found it.
On the internet.
I actually wrote something. I wrote down, let's see here. I wrote down an artist first. I wrote down Yoshitaka Amano. Because I respect his weird art. And he just draws whatever he wants, and for some reason it sells. So he's pretty cool, and he's older, and he's still rocking it.
Oh yeah.
And his name gets copyrighted into like Final Fantasy covers, which is kind of funny. And then I really respect Nobuo Uematsu for a few reasons. One is that like one random tidbit is just like some of the stuff he just made off the top of his head, some little music notes just kind of came out, and then he became like staples of like RPG genre music, which is hilarious. And also that he composes using GarageBand, or used to at least, and then that would be translated into, I don't know, orchestras and stuff. But I just thought it was funny that he's like super laid back and not some like fancy super dude, superhuman. That he has like a lot of human qualities. And then there's this guy that I added in for ha-has. I just donated to my first Kickstarter.
Oh, hey, congrats.
Oh, your Kickstarter cherry.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, but I kind of feel okay. Like, it kind of hurts still. Anyways, so Daniel Lieske, he's this German dude. He works on, like, I don't know, video game art, or he used to. He used to be like a video game artist for some company, And then he has like a wife and at least one child, and he's just like, you know what, screw this. I wanna make my own artwork. I want to make my own. I have a story, and so he made this small, tiny franchise called the Wormworld Saga, and it's a comic book, like an online comic book. So he was offering it all for free, but he had like 2 or 3 successful Kickstarters, and he basically charted out this whole thing of like how much money he'd need to like support himself, his family, and quit his job. And eventually he was able to quit his full-time job. I really don't know what he's doing, but the Kickstarter, which just went live like less than a week ago, is for his the English version of the book, and like no English publishers. Like it's out over in Germany by Tokyo Pop, but they were having a hard time pitching it to like publishers here, as like it's like a 100-something page book, and so Tokyo Pop was actually going to ship it from Germany over here in English. So I got in the Kickstarter, and I want to own it because it's really nice artwork. He's really talented, and the story's like kind of cool. So that was that, because I just have a lot of respect for him for like still wanting to support his family, but had to weigh all the options first, and now he's doing what he really loves. But I don't really know how successful that's going because some of the chapter releases got really delayed, and some other stuff happened along the way. But he's facing all the bumps. So he's not like super famous. But one day I think he may be, which is why I'm getting this book, and you guys should too.
There you go. And then you could say I liked him before he was famous and be one
Yeah,
of
he
those
tweeted
hipsters.
at me. He's like, yo, thanks. But he didn't really say it like that.
He said it all in German.
Oh, no, he speaks pretty good English. Yeah, you know, those are people that just came up with on the fly, like famous people that I have a lot of respect for. You know, I have to like sit here and think for a long time.
I hear ya.
Yo, Brandon Flowers from The Killers. I think he's just really talented. I think he writes some of that music too. I don't have no idea, but like he's like, there's a lot of good stuff there. Sure, I'll just leave it at that.
Sounds good. We've got some more talk here in the comments. Well, first of all, with the whole X-Men thing, Andrew Rutter says, "Can we all just be friends? X-friends,
No.
X-rated friends,
Oh,
X-Men
you're heading
friends."
that way.
Well,
That's inevitable.
yeah, it's inevitable. We're on that crazy train, and it's gonna go
Sure.
there. Basement quality. Hey, it's not Pat. It is just basement quality. Our Let's Play show, who is messaging. Scatman John was pretty legit. I don't know who that is, unless that's the guy that
Hell
voiced
yeah.
Jazz in the 1980s Transformers show. I know his name was Scatman something. Whatever. But yeah, if he's legit, awesome. We also had Raymond Dwyer, who came in with Bill Watterson, the guy who created the comic Calvin and Hobbes. He's one of the guys I respect the most. He resisted a lot of pressure from a syndicate to merchandise the comic, which he refused to do. He almost decided against releasing book collections, to which Deco responds, "I really wish the urinating Calvin picture didn't exist and could be erased from existence." Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. He's
I know
Calvin
that.
Hobbes is good.
I was gonna say John would definitely agree because John didn't he just get that big old
Yeah,
Calvin
he did.
Hobbes collection?
The giant like hardcover thing of monstrosity awesomeness.
Monstrosity, nice.
Well, it's huge. I mean, what else do you call it?
Monsters.
Exactly.
Digital monsters.
Digimon are the champions. Let's move into news before we start singing Digimon songs. Chris, you wanted to talk about some Future Lab stuff.
I do want to talk about some Future Lab stuff.
Let's hear you talk about some
Do
Future
you
Lab.
like games? Do you like speed running?
I suppose.
Well, I know, Jared. I know that you were talking about the whole summer games done quick or done live or done right. I don't know.
Hell
I
yeah.
never remember what the heck that acronym is, but they are doing a similar contest. The guys at Future Lab, and it's actually pretty interesting. You can win a free copy of Velocity 2X, which I am playing, and it is amazing. And you want it. You know you want it. All by doing a speedrun. What you do is you do this mumbo jumbo where you like dance in a circle and pray to a heathen god and sacrifice some things.
I already do
No,
that
it's
anyway.
It's my normal day.
No, you get hooked up to their IRC channel, which I have no idea what that means, and you stream yourself playing
Internet.
Velocity Ultra, which is their first game. I actually asked him if you could play it. I mean, because you have to stream it, so I would assume PS3. What was that, Jerry?
No, not.
He was just laughing when he said it was this thing like normal day.
Oh
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
We're
exactly
having
what I was laughing
visions
at.
of Jared dancing in a voodoo chant.
He
No,
doesn't.
just keep going.
All right, so yeah, so you stream yourself playing Velocity Ultra from level 1 all the way to level 20, and if you're hooked up to their channel, which is hashtag speedrunslive on August 30th, then you can possibly win yourself a copy of Velocity 2X for anyone who's 2nd through 5th place. And for the first prize winner, you get the game for both Vita and PS4, a signed poster, and a Velocity 2X t-shirt.
Nice.
Pretty neat. Yeah, you can go to their website at futurelab.co.uk/velocity-ultra-race.html, and you can see the details there. I mess it up because I have no idea what I'm talking about when I say it, but it's all very technical, and we shall let the speedrunning wizards figure it out.
There you go. The wizards can take care of it, as always. When
Wizards.
don't wizards do it?
Yeah, I think
Wizards.
Speedruns Live was like born after Speed Demos Archive. At least I think it was. I think Speedruns Live, Speedrun Live SR. I don't know. I think that was like sort of Cosmo, right? Maybe I'm completely wrong, but anyways, yeah, like they have like it's a system set up where you can like track your racing, and you can also track like you can set points within the game, and as you're like get to a point where you know you have a second, you can like hit a button on your keyboard or something, and it tracks where you are compared to your old time, and so like lets you improve and lets you blah 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 blah. But yeah, that's Speedruns Live has kind of grown a lot and stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah, you can race people. Like I could be here, and I could race you guys in like some game. We could just try to like speed run, and then we would know who won or something. So it's like as a community site built up from the ground.
Nice.
Cool.
Very cool. Well, some other stuff that John put in here that says that I might be interested in it, which of course I am. A certain game by the name of Resident Evil Revelations 2 appeared as a listing on Xbox.com, which is kind of really cool. But of course, it's a leak thing. They have box art and at least one screenshot, so it's like, oh, okay, this is happening. So Tokyo Game Show is just a couple of weeks away. I won't be surprised if we get a full reveal then, because that would be pretty cool. I played the first Revelations just like a couple of months ago. And it was really, really great. Like, returned to its old sort of tank controls and actual survival horror way of playing versus being all action-y, shoot 'em up. Or I have a friend that calls them Rudy Tooty point and shooties. So it's nice to have something different. But I'm excited for that. And if it'll probably come out and it'll be really, really awesome. But I don't think you guys are big into Resident Evil, right? This is kind of my thing, right?
It is kind of your thing.
Did we talk about? Well, not Resident Evil. Did we talk about the Silent Hill teaser thing that came out?
We did. We talked about it, I think, last week when we talked about PT
well,
and Silent Hills.
I might have zoned out. Well, I watched someone like stream that. It was great. So that's not Resident Evil. No, I have. I think I've said this probably like 3 times on this podcast. Like I have a Resident Evil game. Still waiting to play it.
Which one do you have?
The Wii one. The really good one.
The
4?
4, yes, I was gonna say.
It's waiting. With age, it's getting nicer. It's getting better. It's just kind of getting some dust. Once it gets there, I'll just pop it in, and
it's like a fine wine.
It's like a fine wine that about 10 years from now I'll be like, oh man, the Wii was where it was at, and then.
Well, you've only got 3 more years until the Wii version is 10 years old. So,
That's what I mean.
Wow. Okay.
That's what I meant, man.
and then of course the GameCube version that was, I think, 10 years ago or 9 years ago at this point. So
Ooh.
yeah, ooh, good stuff. But that's coming out.
Ooh.
So this is written here, and I have no idea what this means. It says trap thing from Xseed. Any idea, Chris? Did you write that? Do you have any idea
Dude,
what's going on?
Well,
I-
I wrote that.
Oh,
Okay.
well, enlighten
I
me.
wrote that. I don't. Well, okay. I wrote it in there, and I didn't put it as like a set piece of news yet because I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it.
I have no idea what it is. So
And I actually asked what the hell was going on, and I was linked to this big article, and then I just kind of like can't do this, and then it was explained to me, but I am not the expert. And so
Okay.
Chris, since you're playing the game, you might as well talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, it's regarding Akiba's Trip, that game that was recently localized by Exceed Games. They have a section of the game which is called Pitter, and the protagonist uses his phone, and that is like the game's menu is his phone.
hmm
And so at any time you bring up the menu, you can also bring up this Pitter, which is the social network, and you can view other people's like chat logs basically. And in one of them, well, actually in several of them, because it's used several times, there is a specific character, which is not the protagonist, not anybody who ever appears in the game outside of Pitter, that refers to another commenter as a trap. And there was a lot of controversy with that because, as I understand, trap, I guess, used to mean a person who was cross-dressing to the point where they actually looked like the gender they were trying to cross-dress as,
hmm
and would, I guess, fool people of the opposite gender or whatever. From what I understand now, it's also used as a slur against trans people,
Mm.
and so that was where the whole controversy came up. Some people were very offended by the inclusion of that word and started to say, well, why did you choose this word? They tried looking at the original text, and Brittany Avery, who is a production assistant at Exceed Games, came forward and she said, look, I'm the one who was responsible for all of the Pitter convos, and this is the reason why we used the word. She basically explained, look, it is offensive, and we knew it was offensive when we chose it, but we chose it because the character who uses it is... Because each one of the characters in Pitter has a sort of archetype that you can find on the internet, and this particular character is the angry jerk of the internet,
Yeah.
basically, who kind of goes out of their way to insult other people every chance they get. And the person that she uses it to refer to is a person who there's a specific word for them. Apparently, they play online games and stuff like that, and they play as the character of the opposite gender, and they try to pretend like they are that gender, like online, kind of like role playing sort of deal.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, well, why didn't you use that word instead? And they're like, well, because it wouldn't have had the same context. And yeah, so this person calls out the other person over Pitter, and that made a whole bunch of people angry.
Yeah. I mean, I can see both sides, because I understand, using words that certainly have an effect, and it can hurt feelings, and that sucks. But I think in the context of it, that's the character, and obviously, it's not like Xseed was the one that created the character. Yes, they just chose the word, but if that's the best way to convey the character's personality into being that sort of jerk, I mean, then they're doing their job by making you not like this character, because they're choosing to use words that are crass and inconsiderate of other people and their feelings. So I would read that, and knowing the connotations, it would be like, that's kind of the jerk thing, but I wouldn't associate that with the studio, especially if seeing this, I can see that that's the whole point of the character, is to be that person who hides behind anonymity on the internet, to call people out or just be a general jerk. So
Yeah. they obviously didn't pay attention to Wildcard's How to Not Be a Dick on the internet.
Right, which is a
Just saying.
BuzzFeed. I think that's a
Just saying.
BuzzFeed article you're coming out with, or something like that. BuzzFeed
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly.
very cool. Yeah,
But
so
yeah,
that's kind of
and
my
they
take
did.
on it.
Yeah, they did actually, because in her, like I said, that was the article that John linked you to, Jared, was Brittany Avery's post on her Tumblr, which was explaining all this. And she did say, she's like, we knew that it was offensive. Like, we knew exactly what it meant when we chose the word, because it's not a direct translation of the words they used, but they said that it was a direct translation in terms of the meaning. You know, the character was supposed to be this huge jerk who's basically torments this person most, but goes after everybody. And they said, she said that we could either have translated it to be less offensive, but it would have lost meaning. We could have used a different word, but none of the words that we could come up with would have worked the same way that it was intended. Or we could do this and sort of risk the offense and just say, like, we're sorry if you are offended, but please note that it is this character offending you. It's not us.
Right. They're not saying, like, this is an okay, like, behavior to emulate. It's kind of like, this
Yeah,
guy's
exactly.
a dick, don't be this guy.
Exactly. Don't be that guy.
Right. Well, Jared, do you have anything to weigh in on this, or what are your thoughts?
No.
Okay.
Basically, because I wasn't, like, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm, like, totally
That's fair. No.
into it to, like, but I do it on, like, the bare bones surface of it. I think them just, like, adapting the character the way it was meant to be done was just, the way to go. No point in changing it, because then you're going to have people who are going to be like, they're going to point it out anyways, and then they're going to, the angle would have been skewed. So, like, whatever. I mean, they did what they needed to do.
Yeah.
So.
I hear you. Well, moving away from controversial things and the things that are super hyped, Jared, you went to the theaters to see this movie. Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods has a release date for DVD and Blu-ray. Are you excited?
Even more controversial, my friend.
Oh, is it?
Because Evangelion doesn't even have a release date on Blu-ray and DVD. And this movie just came out like 2 days ago in theaters. What the hell?
Right.
Like, what in the world? I mean, I don't know. I could clean my room faster. I could dust my room faster than, like, Evangelion comes out. I don't even understand.
It's just funny because Funimation always kind of danced around it by saying, due to more theatrical demand, we're putting Evangelion in more theaters and not putting it out on home video. But really, there's some weird licensing thing going on where I assume, like, Gainax or Studio Kara or whatever it is, it's kind of being like, we really don't want people to be reverse importing this. I'm pretty sure it's got to be something like that, and it's just kind of...
It doesn't make any sense anymore, though, because who's going to reverse import this when it's been out for, like, ever?
If you were a sane person in Japan, then everybody, because
there you go.
It's like $80 for a...
I don't know. If you're saying, I mean, there's a lot of people in those, like, anime stores. Like, that place was, like, wall-to-wall. Like, there was, like, a line... Okay, not wall to wall, but there was like a line everywhere. So like people were just like buying all that stuff. That culture's accustomed to it. So I don't know how bad reverse importation is, but that's crazy.
Well,
just like waiting this long.
We'll put it this way. Here's how bad it is. Okay, so a totally different show. Persona 4, the animation. You can buy it here on DVD or Blu-ray. The DVD has both English and Japanese with subtitles. The Blu-ray is dub only. You can't get a HD version of it in America in Japanese.
Well, that just means they were releasing the best version on Blu-ray.
Well, it was good because it's using the same voice actors from the game, so everything sort of had the same cohesion. I mean, I don't think you could choose Japanese voiceover in the original PS2 game.
I was JKing. But...
I know, but I'm just going on to explain for people that are watching and listening. But because of fear of reverse importation, they made it so that you could not buy it in HD with Japanese subtitles and stuff, because otherwise then people in Japan would be like, why would I pay $8,000 for this over here when I can just get it over there? I don't know why specifically it's that one show. I mean, I get it. Persona's a big deal, but I don't think it's the biggest thing that you could be worrying about.
Hey, Randy.
I'm not... I prefaced it, man. What do you want me to say?
Huh?
Jeez,
Better
Chris
shut
is
your whore mouth.
just Chris either is in love with me or is plotting my death. So
So, speaking of news and release dates, October is going to be a crazy month for anime releases. So, like, I don't have any articles open in front of me, so I'm not going to even try to guess the dates. But my understanding is Princess Kaguya by Studio Ghibli, that's going to have some kind of like an October theatrical release date. And then out of nowhere, G Kids, the people who like released from Up on Poppy Hill,
Oh,
they're pushing out a letter to Momo, and they're pushing out like Welcome to the Space Show, and like some other anime film.
Welcome to the Space Jam.
They like these films that have only been out in like theaters and like art theaters and stuff and whatever. So they're coming out and like in October. So now all of a sudden, like my pre-order slate is gonna like triple for anime because all these movies are coming out. I'm like, that's pretty cool, but I wasn't expecting it.
yeah.
Oh God, it's hard to feel like with games.
Mm.
I don't think I actually mentioned it, but the release date for Battle of Gods is October 7th, and it comes with. Okay, well, but I did not mention that it comes with the theatrical version and the extended edition, which has like an extra 25 minutes of footage.
Oh,
So,
it comes with that?
yeah, exactly, both versions. So that'll be really cool because I have not seen
How much of that is Vegeta dancing some more?
Sadly, none. But
Because I'm going to tell you right now, Randy, because you and I watched that.
we watched it together.
Watched it. Yes, it was nice, fun Skype times.
Mm-hmm.
That whole movie, I cannot remember very much of it except for Vegeta dancing.
It's the most memorable moment. It really is.
That
I'm sure
and
Jared remembers it.
Beerus is like, I don't know.
He's disturbed.
Which moment?
Vegeta dancing.
You know, I don't know how to think about that. It's pretty funny. I think the first time I saw it, it was really, really funny. But then you expect it after that. It's totally something else, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Deco says, if you can't slam with the best, then jam with the rest. Quote by Charles from Charles Barkley, Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, which is a super great game. So there's that. I know we have some other stuff here on the outline, like the leaked Smash Bros. Roster, but that's super fake. I mean, it's...
Yeah, I don't feel
know.
like that's real.
I haven't even looked at it, and I don't think I'm going to.
Right, exactly. Don't, because it's total bupkiss. So
Why? It's like some character on there that's a big deal.
there's a couple of things. One, there's no names with the portraits. Number two, everything is out of order. Like, everything is normally associated with its series, but for some reason, Dark Pit is nowhere near Palutena and Other Pit.
Yeah, Dark Pit and
What's
who
her
else?
face
There was another.
from Fire Emblem is
Yeah.
not with Ike and Marth. So it's like, that's weird. And then also, I saw somebody who did an animated GIF, because in the bottom left is Shulk from Xenoblade Chronicles, but someone just did an overlay of, what's his face, Little Mac from Punch-Out? Like, over the face, and it's the exact same thing, just with, like, longer blonde hair facing over it. So it's like, oh, okay.
Internet.
Yeah, and then also the picture with Wario in it is the exact same art from Brawl, where nobody else is the same from previous games. So
yeah, I was gonna say that Luigi's portrait was not the same as Luigi when I saw him when I played him, in at E3. The portrait looks like it's the Super Smash Brothers Brawl where he wins and he does that little.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's not the same. So I'm like, no, that's definitely not his character portrait unless they changed it, which I doubt.
Right. So either way, there's no leaked Smash Bros. Roster out there right now. So just cool your jets.
Dumb.
Wait until October when the 3DS version
guys.
hits?
Let's not get all hot to trot. All right, let's just wait like everybody else.
Yeah. It's 2
Get off
months.
Gap. Get off WikiLeaks for your Smash Brothers.
Hell yeah.
That's why Julian Assange made that website. It's like, so that we can all find out What the Smash
Yeah,
Brothers roster?
I was gonna say Julian Assange apparently is considering leaving the embassy that he's been
Oh,
been
really?
hiding in, and apparently it is to get it's to get his hands on Smash Brothers so he could
Exactly.
leak it
Makes
to
sense.
everyone. It makes total sense now.
Of course, that is why you would put yourself in danger of being arrested.
Of deportation and prosecution in other countries.
Yeah, of course. Oh, good lord. Look,
What are we talking about?
I don't know. We're gonna move
Oh my
on.
God.
What are we ever talking about?
We're gonna move on to what we've been doing, if that sounds all right with you guys. Just keep
I
this.
do have one. I do have
Oh.
one more thing, just like a real quick note. That while we're, I guess, sort of on this subject, or we were on this subject of Akiba's trip some time ago, but whatever.
Mhm.
There is free DLC that came out yesterday, and there's going to be more free DLC for the rest of the month and next month also. It's all totally free. The most recent one is all based on Marvelous AQL.
Oh,
So got a lot of sexy ninja stuff, I'm sure, a lot of other. And then something about Genshiken. I've never heard of Genshiken,
nice. Oh, yeah.
but apparently there's Genshiken stuff in
Nice.
the game now to be a free DLC.
Huh. I guess I do have one other thing that I want to bring up, and that's something that's been going on Twitter from a recent game that was released yesterday. Are you guys familiar with Sword Art Online? Have you ever heard about this series?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty indie.
Talk about it.
Not a lot of people have talked about it, but
You talk about it.
I don't know. I heard it's a harem.
it's kind of like that. Well, there was a game based on it that came out on the Vita yesterday here in America, and apparently, I think the translation/localization was a little rushed because people are just
Ouch.
flooding Twitter with tons of screenshots of just like really weird dialogue. Things like Leafa saying that's got sent to the other world. That's the sentence. They refer to Kirito, who's always wearing a black coat, as a black man, even though he's a 15-year-old Japanese boy. I don't know, 15.
Makes total sense.
Hey, maybe there was a side story. I don't know.
Yeah, well, who knows?
One of those things that didn't make it in the adaptation.
Right,
It's
exactly.
Sword Art Online, the fan fiction, the game.
There you go. Yeah. Exactly.
Wow, that's basically the entire novel. JK.
Ah,
What about that chapter?
yeah. Whew. But that was something. So it's funny. Look some stuff up.
I've got some random news I could say.
Dude.
I love the power of the interwebs. Attack on Titan. So Shingeki no Kyojin is like apparently set to end. The manga's gonna end in 3 to 4 years.
Nice.
Ooh. So maybe there's gonna be like a.
Apparently the dog's excited too.
Yeah, man, that dog's just like singing the opening. Okay. And then those movie dates. Looks like G-Kids is releasing Patema Inverted, and then Welcome to the Space Show. North American Home Video, November 11th. I have not seen either films because I wasn't in New York for either of those festivals. But anyways, those are coming out. And you know what? I felt like there was something else. But I
You have the date for Princess Kaguya?
Kaguya, that's definitely sometime in October. But the English trailer is out. It's kind of weird. Like, there's no dialogue. It's just like this weirdly epic music that I would never expect to hear in a Ghibli film, and it was just really kind of strange. But they show, at least the trailer shows off, like, I guess a really interesting part of the film where the character's running, and it's just like this wicked, beautiful animation of the character running, because it's just like a blob, and it's just like lines and stuff. It's really interesting. But the way the trailer is with the music, it's almost a comedy. I don't know how to feel about that. Anyways, yeah, I found the last thing I wanted to talk about. I'm just gotta go back to it. Right, so The Wind Rises. I think film there. That is listed for video in North America. Let's see. Amazon might have released that date, November 18th. So between like October and November, a bunch of films are going to be released, and that's really cool.
Super cool. I'm excited. That'll be good stuff. Good
Super
thing.
excited.
Okay, why don't we move into things we've been doing? If you guys don't mind, I have a couple of things that I've been doing that I would love to share with you.
I do mind. I mind greatly.
Well, Chris, you can take your beautiful hair and go take a nap for all I care, because
You must use Tresemme, ooh.
jeez, ay.
You know, okay, Randy. First of all, why would I take a nap when I could just go to sleep?
That's
You're
true.
tired, Chris.
Being gorgeous just takes a lot out of you, Jared. And that's just how it is.
Well,
It
I
is
mean, when you
completely
have
absolute.
to be glowing the entire day, I can understand.
It's true. I mean, have you seen him? He's like a darker skinned Fabio. Look at
All
that.
I know is I've seen gifs of him on Tumblr just walking down the street, and it's just amazing.
Yeah. How can you not believe that? That's exactly.
I
how it goes.
mean, people has a fan base. It's got like a Twitter. People follow him. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Exactly.
That's crazy. He's made it.
Before I gush too much and reveal my secret love for Chris,
Oh yeah.
I'm going to talk about a
Wait, is
game.
there a triangle here?
Shh! Don't bring it up. God.
At least I have comrades in the dogs.
It's true. Speaking of dogs, last week I said that I played some Sleeping Dogs. And by played, I mean like I started it up to see how pretty it looked.
Damn it, Randy.
Deal with it, man. He set me up. I can't not go with that.
Isn't that game getting re-released on like H-Dazzle?
It is getting the HD game is getting HDified again. Yeah, it's they're coming out with a new edition that comes out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. I don't know what they're gonna all do, especially for the PC one because that already looks super gorgeous, which is what I've been playing it on. And I actually sat down to play it, like actually do things. Now this game, I always thought this will probably be really cool, but I never really jumped on it until I got it for like $5 during the summer sale. But I picked it up, and I'm not usually the type to dig things like giant sandbox games like Grand Theft Auto. I mean, I kind of have an interest in like maybe playing Saints Row, but just because it's so ridiculous and that kind of humor gets to me. But no, this one looked like it was really cool. Like it was a weird mix between Grand Theft Auto and like Shenmue because it has like a combat system where you just fight people in the streets and you don't just shoot them. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I actually started playing it. And it's a really good game, and I think I found a GTA game sort of thing that I like, and it's just it's really cool. The story seems like it's really neat, which is one of the big things that is a draw to me is having a really good story. So in this one, usually Grand Theft Auto, I assume it's just like, oh, like in the third one, you got out of prison and now you're just gonna do more crime and things, and oh, you're part of a gang, such and such thing.
GTA 5 was, like, good.
Yeah, good.
It was the first one I played since Vice City, and, I mean, it was pretty good. I don't know if you'd get a kick out of it, but I thought it was actually pretty good. I had a lot of fun. Sleeping Dogs, I was actually listening to a podcast on the way home tonight, and there was talk of Sleeping Dogs. And yeah, actually, all this talk of it recently makes me think I want to look up what Sleeping Dogs is.
Well, it's pretty cool. You start the game out basically like doing a deal with some shady individual or whatever before the cops bust in, and you've got to try to escape the police. And yeah, this all takes place, I believe, in is it Hong Kong? Yeah, Hong Kong. And you get caught by the police, and it's, oh crap, man, you just got arrested. So now what's going to happen?
Oh, damn.
But you're an undercover cop. So it's like, whoa, okay,
Ooh.
never mind. So I'm not really in trouble.
spoilers.
Well, it's
I am done.
It's in the
I'm sorry,
first
man.
5 minutes of the
it's
game.
within the first 5
Oh, I love it when I love it whenever we talk about spoilers. The drama gets real. I'm just joking, dude.
minutes.
I don't care. You could tell me about the ending of Sleeping Dogs, and I'd be like, I got a sleeping dog right next to me.
Oh. Anyway, I think, and so it turns out you are an undercover cop, and the whole, at least portion of the game that I'm in right now, I'm not sure how things unfold and go from there. But the whole thing is like, okay, there's this really bad gang. and we need you to get in there and like get some dirt on these guys so we can at least nail them for something. And it turns out these are guys that you knew growing up because I know grammar, and so kind of like, yeah, I know these guys, so I'm a shoot for this. So you kind of so you kind of infiltrate that to do stuff while also it's like GTA, you have like the stars sort of thing, like, oh, you don't want to be noticed by the cops or whatever. Not, you're an undercover cop. Not everybody on the police force knows. So the whole thing is you want to commit crime while also not being caught by the cops, because then you don't level up, because you don't have cop respect and stuff, because you're constantly getting arrested. Because then you can unlock new things. Like, you get new abilities, like, and you have like job classes. You have like gangster, and then like police officer, and like other stuff. So you can like get other items and things to help you in your crime fun times. But it's really fun. The combat's really cool. It's kind of like a Batman Arkham Asylum thing. So I think Chris would kind of dig that whole part to it. It's also really open. Like, as soon as I had finished the tutorial mode sort of thing, like, they're like, okay, you can go and try to do crime, but also catch bad guys. And they're like, here's a garage, you have a motorcycle and a car, have fun. And I'm like, well, I just want to go around and see what this is like, and holy crap, the city is giant and sprawling, and you go everywhere, and it's just fun to look at everything, because there's like changing weather patterns and day to night stuff, so it's really cool going down in like sunset, nighttime. It's like, man, this is gorgeous, and then a storm rolls in, so you're like driving through rain and stuff. It's really good, and I'm sure just as well as it looks on PC, the Xbox One, and the PS4, it's gonna look super great. So yeah, that game is really, really good, and I'm actually going to recommend it to people, even though I've only played it for how long have I played it? Let's see, Steam, tell me, 94 minutes. 94 minutes, Jared. Thank you.
Did you go on a date yet?
I have not gone on any dates. Can I go on dates?
Yeah, you can.
Oh man.
I played it too, Randy. I'm surprised you didn't know that.
Nah, I didn't. I didn't expect you to do that, because you're like, oh, I got these JRPGs to review. I don't have time for games that are...
Dude, this game is like 2.5 years old.
Yeah,
man.
I know. It came out.
Holy crap.
12. I'm sorry.
I remember it came out, but I didn't know it was that old.
I played it on PS3. Hey, it is my turn to talk.
Jesus.
I played it on PS3, and I played, I don't know, I'd say probably about 8 or so hours of it. I didn't beat it or anything, but I did play quite a bit. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Like, just like you, it's sort of like I could never get into any of the Grand Theft Autos that I played. Even the Grand Theft Autos, like Grand Theft Auto 5, I can't get into them. Like, I do not enjoy those kinds of games. This one seems different, especially because they really do emphasize you can do whatever you want and you can break the law, but you're not going to get a good ending. Basically, it's not going to turn out well in the end.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
In that respect, it's kind of like there is still some morality, and they do encourage you to have a little bit of a conscience in that game. But then again, you can still like put people's faces through air conditioners and watch them get cut up by the spinning fan. So there's that.
Yeah, there's that. You can get murder boners from playing this game.
You're in for a treat, Randy, only because the girl you date is actually voiced by Emma Stone. Yeah.
I need a towel. Oh.
And suddenly his love is stolen away from me.
Sorry, Chris. You're no Emma Stone. Well, you give Emma Stone a run for her money.
Okay, well, there you go. I'm happy at least then.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'd have to start butting in at that point. Just to
start putting out more like it.
Ooh.
Hey yo!
I think one of the big draws for me that I'm liking it is, I don't know, I like that there's the whole morality thing, and I also just never really got into Grand Theft Auto because I'm like, I don't want to play a bad guy. Like, that's kind of like, you're forced to be like, do you want to sell drugs? No, I'll sell drugs if you want to beat this game.
Look.
I don't want to do that.
I don't know. I don't remember much about Vice City nowadays, but in GTA 5, they had 3 very distinct characters. One was about drugs, one was in the game because he just was there, and then you had Michael. the man who didn't want to get back into robbing banks, but he got pulled back in, and a lot of shit went down. And then the game ended.
That is a great summary.
Wow.
It's a great summary, guys.
Riveting.
It's the best.
Riveting. I better be quoted when that game comes out on PS4.
Vice City was basically Scarface, the game. Like, that whole game was
Yo, I played that game. There was
like
Scarface.
one gigantic wet dream for Scarface.
It's true. At least
Hey, yo.
from what I've seen of it.
There's
Hey,
even a scene where you're high on drugs in the mansion, and
Yeah.
all these dudes come after you, and you got to shoot them, just like Scarface at the end of Scarface.
I don't remember the
So,
character being high on
yeah.
drugs. I just remember you're in a mansion. You got to shoot them all. Then again,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, well,
Really
I
little.
assume you're always high on drugs because you're this drug guy. Always.
sure.
Like mountains of cocaine. Like you bathe in cocaine.
The only I can remember doing like those drugs was like when you smoking weed in GTA 5 and you had to shoot like aliens, and I accidentally skipped a cutscene. I felt really stupid because for some reason you jump out of a plane or something, and I accidentally skipped the cutscene. And I felt so dumb. Okay.
Deco says no sleeping dogs were harmed in the making of this game.
Aww.
Right. So
The sleeping dogs may have been harmed in the making of this podcast. Remember that.
it's true,
Yeah.
but Bella's safe.
Oh.
Deco also says, fun fact, while taxi rides in sleeping dogs cost a flat rate of $310 Hong Kong, taxi rides in real-life Hong Kong shouldn't cost more than $100 unless you travel really, really far. Short trips should cost between $25 and $60, he thinks, because Deco actually lives in Hong Kong, so he knows. He's been
Wow,
there.
that's super cool.
But
That is super
Deco,
cool.
Deco,
I don't.
have you
I
been
don't
in Hong Kong when this game takes place? Because I think it's like 20.
I wanna. Let's all try to guess how old Deco was when he left Hong Kong. I'm gonna guess he was 8 years old.
I'm gonna guess 15.
Mm.
I'm going to guess however old he is now minus like 3 or 4.
No. He was little or something.
Well, I don't know.
You should know.
Just a guess. It's a guess because I don't know.
We will find out eventually. But yeah, I'm really excited to play more Sleeping Dogs, and I would have played more if I didn't get sucked into a goddamn game from 1999, and oh god damn it, it has its hooks in me, and I can't stand it. So I started playing Final Fantasy VIII again.
Woo! Yeah.
Jared's excited. Jared knows my love
Go
for Final
talk
Fantasy.
to a wall.
Final Fantasy VIII was actually my first Final Fantasy because I didn't get into RPGs until, like 7th grade. So I had that on Steam, and I decided, after I was playing Sleeping Dogs for a bit, I was like, oh, let's check out what else I've got. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right, I bought Final Fantasy VIII. I should play that and see what that's like. Because I don't know, obviously. But the music is really bad because it uses the old PC version, like really terrible MIDIs. But
I
luckily,
gotta hear that sometime. I need to just look it up after we're done recording, what those sounded like, because I love the PlayStation music holds up.
oh yeah,
but-
it really
But
does.
the MIDIs, I gotta hear this. It's like bleeps and bloops of nothing.
Yeah, yeah, it's bad. So anyway, I couldn't stand it. It was ear piercing. And luckily, being a PC game, there are lots. And a game from 1999, people have had a lot of time to figure out how to mod this thing. So I started out with getting this one mod called Roses and Wine, which is actually I learned a track from Final Fantasy VIII. So I installed that, and what it does is the base choice is you can just install the PlayStation music, and it sounds great because that's how the game was kind of meant to be heard. But you also get a set number of checkboxes of other music you would like included. So things like Distant Worlds concerts or like Black Mage's, orchestral song
nice.
versions. Yeah, you can select to use those instead of their corresponding PlayStation tracks. So I'm like, yeah, let's go for it because I've experienced Final Fantasy VIII enough times to know how the PlayStation music goes. And being treated to updated versions of the music is really, really cool. So I come into new places and I'm like, man, this is all new to me, but still somewhat familiar because I know the tune, but it's just such a different experience. And it's so cool hearing stuff like that. Like the battle theme is so much more exciting. The boss theme is really, really awesome. So just that was enough to be like, this is why you should get this on PC, just because, well, by now, any computer can play a PlayStation 1 game. It wouldn't be that tough to do. And then just, yeah, that music is super great to accompany it with. So I've been doing that, and I'm not very far. I recently just
Where are you?
I just became a seed, so now I'm headed off to Timber to go
Hot
meet
dog.
hot dog. Yeah, fine.
Hot dog.
Zell will eat all of the hot dogs. So I just became a seed, and last night I'm like, okay, I have like a half hour or so, or an hour to like play some Final Fantasy VIII, so I'm gonna do that. But I'm just gonna play cards. Yeah, I just got trampled in cards and just kept losing my cards. So I just kept resetting the game. I just wasted so much time just doing cards. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna move on.
I don't lose. I don't ever lose in Triple Triad ever.
Well, when you start off and you only have like the 8 cards, it's tough. So
I win. What are you talking about? Dude,
Fine.
I am master at that game.
come over and play this for me, because my goal this time is to actually get the Lionheart in Disc 1. So I'm going to be going for that. I watched some things on how to do it and like what I'll need. So I'm pretty confident. I do have to play a lot of Triple Triad in order to get the stuff early to do it.
So I have a sad fact.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
I don't think I ever got into Triple Triad.
What?
The one I got into and I played a ton of was the 1 in 9.
Did you
What?
understand
That's
how it
Are
was
you
the
kidding
9?
me?
That
I-
card game made 0 sense to me.
The first time I played, right, I hear that a lot. The first time I played 9, my first time through 9, I actually played it a lot, and I did understand it at one point, to a point where like I was doing okay, but I don't remember how to do it now. So on my most recent playthrough of 9, I didn't understand it at all. But like I don't know what, I don't remember how like I understood like at least a little bit of it to start winning. But yeah, was it Tetramaster?
Yeah.
It's your
But
master.
no, in Triple Triad I never got into. I don't think.
With
I avoided it.
the big difference between Triple Triad and Tetramaster is Triple Triad was set numbers, and the numbers they never changed. After you place your cards in Tetramaster, there's still a bit of randomization that is done between the numbers, and so even though you could be, say if you would have played this card, you could have won, but then the numbers get randomized a little bit, and then it may not win the game for you, and it's really frustrating because there's some lack of control as far as that game is concerned. It's like saying something like Magic the Gathering versus Pokemon, where the Pokemon TCG has more coin flips, has more randomized elements, to sort of end.
Yeah.
And it's done to help younger players. It's like, okay, you got this attack, flip 5 coins. You're like, all right, I guess. That doesn't really happen a whole lot in other games. So that's why a lot of people don't like Tetramasters, because it doesn't have defined values.
And Triple Triad can get stupid if you go to certain places and allow their rules to spread, because just like any other card game, some people in certain areas play really stupid, so you don't want to spread that around. Because they'll be like, yeah, when you play a card, like, it's backwards. So that I don't know. I never let those stupid rules go. Like, I would ask to play with them, and they'd be like, oh, sure, but I play by these rules. Do you want to play? No. And if you tell them no enough times, they're like, fine, I'll play how you play with your plain-ass rules, man. So then they do, and then it makes sense. There can be elemental rules, so it's like, oh, each card, like, can have elemental properties, which gives it advantage. But whatever. Enough about card games in Final Fantasy.
Never enough.
We need those back. I don't care what you're gonna do, Square Enix. Final Fantasy 15 better have a card game, and it better be Triple Triad version 2.0.
As far as it goes, Blitzball was pretty cool.
I love Blitzball.
It wasn't a card game, but Blitzball was awesome.
I love Blitzball. Not gonna lie.
Nope.
Jared's not a Blitzball guy.
Nope. I played the story version of it, and then I didn't understand it, and then I was like, "Fuck you!" And then
to be fair, the story version, the match you play in Blitzball is super stupid, because the other team you're playing against is high level, and they're tough.
And I never got into that. And then, did 12 have a mini game? They had a room where you could collect stuff, put it in there. I don't remember any mini games. Anyways.
Final Fantasy 13 had one minigame where you just ran down a hallway for about 30 hours.
Dude, that's the best. That's like an actual mini game in Ni no Kuni. You have to like run down like a hallway, but at least it was real. No, 13.2 had that awful casino thing.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
pay for
Stupid
it
as crap.
Oh,
All right.
yeah, whatever. So Final
Okay.
Fantasy VIII, good times. I'm probably gonna keep playing that because that's all I can think about. Like I said,
Man,
to the
I keep
soundtrack.
talking about that game, and I keep thinking of the music. Like, I don't know, you know what? I don't know why, but I keep playing. Whenever you talk about FF8, I just start singing in my head the overworld theme. Probably because you hear it so much. It's like do 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 do, and I'm like, oh man, come on.
Yeah, there's it's good. I would go play it again because man, that game and the okay. I want to share just one tiny stupid story. Jared, you'll probably and then of course Chris, you played Triple Triad, you played Final Fantasy, you know what's going on. So you know how the junction system works, where you can junction magic to your stats to increase your capabilities. For fun, I was looking on GameFAQs forums because, of course, that is the best place to look for people that talk about things maturely. But one of the things was this guy who was on Disc 4 fighting close to the last boss was like, man, I just cannot beat this person. Here are my character levels. And, you know, they're whatever, 30, whatever. Levels don't really matter. But they're like, here's my junctions. And all they had for GFs was Quetzalcoatl, Shiva, and Ifrit. They never drew GFs from anything else. They never got anything other than those story ones. They also did not know how junctioning worked. Because they're like, oh, if I have more of a spell, it increases my stats more? That's something I didn't know. Even though the tutorials expressly tell you these things.
No kidding, like a freaking 2-hour tutorial, no less. It's
right.
like math.
So there's all these things that he just didn't do or didn't pay attention to. And that's like, man, you are so... But he got to Disc 4 without any of this knowledge. And he's like level 30-something, and like hardly anything junction. 3 GFs, 1 for each party member, that's it. And it's like, how did you get that far? All he did was just summon GFs constantly and like heal them, which that would drive me insane to see those 3 same animations over and over again. But it was cool because everybody else in the forum talked him through stuff like, you know, how junctioning works and like what you can do to raise your stats and like card modifying and stuff. And it was cool, and he eventually beat the game. So it was really cool to see this forum thing of this guy who knew nothing, but it was still towards the end of the game.
Yeah, like
learning
literally.
everything.
Wish I was smart enough to use forums back then. I remember I got all the way to the end of Disc 3 and then had to start over because I had no idea what I was doing wrong. I don't know if I was doing the junctioning system or what. I just remember that like I couldn't win, and I'm like, well, screw this. And then I just like stopped playing for a while, started over, and I barreled right through it, and it was great.
Yeah.
Game.
Oh, jeez. Oh, one other thing from Basement Quality. Wasn't there somebody crying at his wife's grave who challenges you to Triple Triad? I don't remember, but I also don't put it past them. Because there's the whole, like, oh, the masters of the card game, like, if you find them throughout the world, you can get really great cards. And it's just, like, people at your school, like the principal is, like, one of the super players. It's like, what? They've just been here the whole time, and they're, like, actual people with successful careers. It's just funny to me. So, Final Fantasy VIII is super great, and I need to keep playing it. So, Jared, you said you watched Sailor Moon Crystal last night. Chris, did you watch it this week? Oh, somebody always misses. Dang.
I'm sorry, it's hard to. I'm on the review, man. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you.
All my time is.
That excuse only goes so far.
It's true. It's 20 minutes, man. 20 minutes is all you need.
I don't know. I barely fit that in. I was like, holy crap.
So we can talk about it next time because actually we have.
No, you talk about it now. It's cool.
No. We don't have. Because we have 3 weeks until the next episode. Because it's not actually a bi-weekly show. It's the first Saturday and the third Saturday in the month. So we have some time. Because, yeah, some dumb stuff.
Well, like I said, don't wait on my account. Because
I'm actually starting to get into this show.
Really? You are, huh?
After the 4th episode, I'm like, oh god, there's like a tiny hook.
Yep.
I'm like, what the hell?
Once
The
they
show is,
stop
like,
like
getting
adding
better.
characters, they're just like
It's adding characters. The writing is interesting. transformations are like, why am I watching this? But this is great. You have some cat that's like, get away from Usagi! And you're just like, okay. And it's like Usagi's voice isn't as annoying because she's talking less because there's all these other characters now. And I'm like,
Nice.
hell yeah. And there's going to even be another new character next week. And then there's going to be maybe another girl later on. And then you got like more introduction of like these demon yokai dudes. And I'm like, man, it's kind of getting cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting fun.
Yeah, there's going to be so much more, Jared. I can't wait for you to enjoy that. And then, yes, another person that was introduced at like the end of the episode. It's like, this is going to be so good.
I don't know. She was just talking about Storm. I was kind of confused.
Well, you'll see. Chris, you'll need to see it
If I-
before.
If
I've
we're
already
gonna,
seen it once. I saw it like 20 years ago.
oh man, dude. If there's one thing I'll say about the episode was that shot of Usagi sleeping, and then that dude, Tuxedo Man, comes over and he's just like, "Yo, I'm gonna kiss you." And he's just like, "Oh yeah." And then like Luna's like, "Ah, get away from her!" It was the best thing ever.
You
It is
describe things
awesome.
so weirdly.
Oh, hey man, I could get super weird. I mean, I hold back like at work. I hold back on the podcast. I could get super duper weird.
Oh, well, I would
Dude, the
welcome that.
podcast is where you gotta let it all out, man.
Let it all out. Let it all shout. I don't have no idea what to
Let
talk
your
about.
freak flag fly, my friend.
Yeah, it'd basically be like, oh my god, the best part of that episode was when the dad was like, that looks like Usagi, and then he's just like, man, I wonder if she'll become as beautiful as that chick. And it was just like the best thing. He didn't say the word chick, he said woman, but still, he basically just hit on his daughter and didn't know it.
No, he didn't. He was
Oh,
like,
come
Even
on!
worse.
The way that the voice actor delivered the line, he was just like, oh, but not really. It wasn't supposed to be taken that way, but I took it that way because he's just like, he looks and he's just like, yo, I'm gonna check out this girl. Oh man, I don't know that's my daughter, and it was kind of
Yo,
weird. It was kind of weird for a second,
banging.
but
not how that.
where did Daddy go during the whole thing? Like he wasn't even there. Okay, like darkness took over, and then Daddy wasn't even around anymore.
He was in the bathroom.
He had indigestion.
Maybe he's
Well-
Tuxedo Man.
I'm not
Mind
gonna
blown.
elaborate any further than that, but yeah.
Mind equals blown. Oh, and the beginning of the episode, that the mom's like, I wish Usagi would be like Sailor someone, and then like, turns out it's her or something. Oh, and the one thing I don't get is Luna. Luna, I think that's the cat's name.
Yep.
The cat's just like, hey girls, I know you're all like Sailor Guardians now, and but there's this like princess or something that you're protecting or something, and the girls are just like, yo, okay, that's awesome. They don't even question like, what the hell are we doing? It's like just there.
Well-
Oh, and there's a laser beam in the episode. Holy awesome. Wasn't expecting lasers.
This has been your minute
By the
of
power
Jared.
of love, laser beams.
This has been Jared Reacts
Yes.
to Sailor Moon Crystal. This is
Get
great.
Dude, we could seriously upload your episode summaries to like a YouTube and monetize it, and we would like make tons of money because it's hilarious what you're saying.
True.
Do it.
Fine.
We need new mics.
There you go.
Yeti mics.
We'll
Good
start
points.
a Kickstarter for Jared Reacts to Sailor Moon Crystal.
Jared reacts to Sailor Moon too. We could do
mm.
that.
To laser beams. So,
Lasers. No, that was a real beam.
Jared, speaking of other anime, did you watch Free today?
No, I was at work all
Oh,
day.
that's right. Of course. Blah, blah.
For 11 hours, I was not here.
That sucks.
I actually
Well,
came home. and came right on this thing, so I'm
Aw.
kind of here.
Yeah. Well, then, Chris, that's all I gotta say. What have you been up to?
Wow. Okay. Well, it's gonna be a short week then for
Hmm?
what have we been doing? Playing, saying, reading, looking at. which is now what we're calling the segment, by the way, because that's awesome.
What you been looking at?
I'm super boring. I lead, apparently, a boring life because all I've been doing is playing like 30 hours of Hyper Dimension Neptunia Rebirth 1. And trying real hard to get that review up. The game releases on, I think, the 26th, so it's coming out pretty soon. So yeah, I got to get that review out. I want to get that review out at least with a couple of days before release, so that way people can read up on it and be like, hey, is this good for me or not? And I could be like, either yes, it's totally super cool for you and you should buy it and you should give it all your money and, like, I don't know, slap it on your face like he owes you money. Or, no, it's terrible and you should probably burn this in effigy with a pile of everything else you hate, so that way your life is better for it. But buy it first. Don't burn it. Don't steal it and then burn it, because that's not cool.
So I should buy it and a Vita and burn them both at the same time.
No, don't burn the Vita, Randy. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, all right? No, yeah, so just trying to get that out for review. I'm pretty far. I think I'm in the last chapter. So
really?
hopefully
Wow.
that
So
will
you're
be
that
out.
close? How many hours have you put into it?
The last time I checked, I think it was somewhere just over 40.
Wow. So you don't have 20 minutes to watch Cinnamon Crystal. You have 40 hours
Yeah,
to
because
play a Vita game.
Yeah, where do you think all my hours are going, man?
Obviously.
Thank you very much. And there's not a whole lot of, like, if there was, like, grinding to do in this game, I would just grind and just watch, I don't know, something, but I don't really have to grind. It's not a very grindy game, so.
Chris, grinding is a dance technique. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Oh no, I'm fully aware, sir.
Oh yeah.
There is a reason
Swagger.
the Vita is my favorite device.
Oh yeah.
I can tell you from experience. I can tell you from experience, Chris knows how to grind.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
yo!
There ain't nothing wrong with the little
On
bump
that
and grind.
dance floor,
R. Kelly.
making
How's it
me
going?
want some more.
Hey, do you know any R. Kelly songs?
No.
Almost. Did you sing those?
I Want to Piss on You doesn't count because that was actually
Damn it,
Dave
I was just
Chappelle.
going to say.
Did R. Kelly do the? Was he the guy who did the closet songs?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes,
watched.
Trapped
it.
in a
was
Closet.
Trapped in a closet.
Trapped
That was
in-
great. It's just like, no, open the door.
Not
Blah,
about
blah, blah.
homosexuality at all.
Huh?
I-
Oh yeah, I pulled the sheets away. Oh my god, rubber. It was the best thing. I don't forget that line. What's up, guys?
But yeah, so as soon as that is over with, I'm going to be moving on to Velocity 2X, but Velocity 2X is not that long of a game, so I could probably have that, easily within a week that I start. And then I can get back to Sailor Moon and Akiba's Trip and Xenoblade Chronicles and all these other games that I just want to play for fun, but I can't because I'm busy.
Of course. It happens.
And that's it, dude. I'm super boring this week. Sorry, guys.
That's okay. Jared has question mark written down. So
I know.
It's a mystery.
It's a secret to everybody.
It's a secret. All right, I guess I'll talk about stuff. I didn't plan anything here, but the first thing I'll say is that the most recent episode of Sword Art Online 2 was the worst episode I've ever seen of Sword Art Online. It was dumb. So Sword Art Online 2. By the way, actually, before I start talking about Sword Art Online, Deco Bro messaged me on the FB, and he said that I guessed he was 8 years old, I think, when he left Hong Kong. It was actually he was 7.
Oh.
I overestimated. Let's see. So Sword Art Online 2 deals with such issues and themes such as post-traumatic stress disorder and basically just being a really dumb show. But there was a
Okay.
there was okay, you know what? It's actually not that dumb. I'm kind of liking Sword Art Online 2. The pace is slower. They're like I don't know if they're trying to drag it out though, because this most recent episode bothered me. There's this like nurse who like watches over Kirito as he's like going deep dive, whatever it's called, or gas into like his game, and it was just it's like recent, like in beginning episodes, it was really weird because she came up as like a perverted nurse, who was like into Kirito, and it's just kind of really weird. And then in this most recent episode, she's just like there as support, and he's crying, and I just don't get it. And you know, it's just weird, and he was crying, and then there was a balloon that like flew by in the background. I just started laughing because I'm like, why is there a balloon? But it was actually a balloon that some child let go of like 10 minutes earlier in the episode, and it was just like so dumb. And they were just killing time. And then there's this female character, Sinon. She's kind of cool, but she's got her own like post-traumatic stress from when she was a child, and she killed like this guy who had a gun, and she shot him like in the head, and like whatever, and because like he was robbing a bank or something. What?
It's always 2 times in the chest, once in the head. You got to make sure. Don't be
honestly,
no, double tap.
She didn't know what she was doing, but anyway, she killed this dude, and now like, if someone like points their finger at her like a gun or something, she like breaks down and cries. But she's a master of this like MMO where she is it's like a first-person shooter MMO, or it's a shooter MMO, and it's just so weird. And
okay, did she kill the dude in real life, or did she kill the dude in a video game and then he like respawned, or what?
No, she killed him in real life when she was a child. But like right now, her escape and where she feels like probably, I would say that she probably feels most alive is in this video game, and she's hanging out with Kirito. Barely. You know what? The weird thing about it is the episode dragged on. It was really dumb, and I'm hoping that SAO2 picks itself up in the next episode, because the most recent ones have been kind of really stupid. But that's all I wanted to say. That it was all right, but it was pretty stupid. Another thing is, as randomly as I was doing some quick research for a Wall Scroll article that I wrote. That went live today, I went to Right Stuff, and because I haven't checked their wall scroll stock, because like anime stores don't carry like wall scrolls anymore. I mean they do, but it's not like it used to be. And on the front, you know, I was expecting to see all these old scrolls or out of stock scrolls. On the front page, they had an Alnoa.0 import scroll thing. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And it's like an Aniplex thing, and it's like $90 or it's $80. So I'm like, what? And I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, you know, I was like, I'm feeling lazy. I don't want to like ask Right Stuff what this is, but there's actually a link on all of their product pages where you click a button and you can actually ask them information about the specific product. So I was like, how big is this? What is this? And so what it is it's like this scroll of like a bunch of flowers. And in the background is one of the orange mechs from the anime with like this big mech that I don't think has been introduced in the anime yet. I'm like, what? And then the response I got from Right Stuff is, this isn't a wall scroll, it's a canvas picture. The dimensions are as follows: 18 inches height, 21 inches width, a half-inch depth. And that's all they said. So it's actually like a canvas print from this show, and I'm like, whoa, I feel like this is imported, because it sort of was. So I'm thinking about getting that, but it's way too expensive, so I don't know how to feel.
Right, but that sounds kind of super cool, and I'm going to have to look it up, because Zero is good stuff.
I couldn't believe it. So like that, it doesn't even have any text on it. It's just like a print. I'm like, what? So that was neat. All right, what else have I been up to? I've been writing a little bit, but work was really intense. So we had tax-free weekend in Massachusetts, so I wasn't really able to play any video games, watch anime, or write. And so it was like 2 Black Fridays in a row almost. But I got into like the spending spirit as well, and I bought a Chromebook. And it was the best thing because I posted on the Facebook that it was my new MacBook Pro. And I can't tell if people took me seriously or not, but it was hilarious. And then I returned the Chromebook. And I got a new router.
That dream ended short.
Yeah, I got a new router. And then tonight, I haven't opened it yet, but I got this like flippity floppity thing in a box, and it's a Lenovo Yoga, and it basically flips over, and it becomes like a tablet, but it's also a laptop, and it's 11 inches, and it's awesome. So I'm going to be using that to like do some writing, so I can sit on the couch next to the baler.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah. And then I think that almost sums it up. Been watching other anime. I did watch last week's episode of Free, which I only remember one tiny piece of. No, I remember a little bit more.
Was it the preview for the next episode?
I did see that. God, I can't remember what it was now, though. It was pretty funny.
Kiss me, kiss me, kiss me.
Oh, kiss me, yeah.
Oh, God.
Noah.0 was pretty decent.
Agreed.
And I've been watching the Ao Haru Ride, or also known as Blue Spring Ride, and they're doing a really good job at some romance anime there. I haven't played any video games in like almost a month now. Getting there.
You should fix that by playing Final Fantasy VIII.
I just can't. I gotta catch up on more anime. And I'm just trying to think. That's pretty much about it. I do have to say that I'm going to be going to New York City on Friday, and I got some tickets for this thing called Low Level, which is a music festival. It's like a chiptune and kind of digital music, sort of ish EDM festival. I don't really know what I'm getting myself into, but I'm going to meet up with some people from Kobayano, which is really cool.
Nice.
And I'm probably going to be going to Kinokuniya bookstore, looking at some video game and anime art books and manga, and might make it to a book off and look at some more video games and anime, and then I might eat some Japanese food that day. Finally, might eat at like this a ramen shop there, and then I did not know this, but there's a curry chain that made it into New York City. That I might be introduced to, and that sounds kind of cool. So I'm gonna have a fun day, and that's about all I got.
Nice. Well, that sounds like good stuff to do.
Yeah.
That reminds me, guys, I totally need to buy one of those like really awesome ramen bowls. I need to buy one.
Do it.
It's just like I have the like top ramen like at my office. And I just look at them, and I'm like, boy, I wish I could eat these, but, all we have at the office is, like, paper plates, and I'm too lazy to bring my own bowls, so.
Yeah, I hear ya. The bowl's like the giant, I think, like, we have something around here that's called, like, Super Meal, but it's SOUPER.
Hey, yo.
They're giant, and it's, like, huge things, but yeah, now
Guys,
I want it.
When I think about, like, Japan, I think about ramen because it was like one of the best meals I had. Like it's so hard to describe how good it was, and the fact that might come close on Friday is really exciting.
Yeah, that's
like I ate a lot of ramen when I was in college. Like it would stink. I would like cook it in the microwave and it would stink up the room. It smelled like ass, but it was like nice. It was ramen. There's like yakisoba. It was so unhealthy. Like you were just eating like death. But like ramen, real ramen is just something else. It's like divine. It's like Sailor Moon laser beams capture the light and shoot it at the darkness in the sky.
I think that's the best way to leave this show off on is laser beam ramen. So,
nice.
If you'd like to leave feedback for this episode, previous episodes, or episodes in the future, you can email us at feedback.bcpodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at BC_podcast, as well as follow us on Facebook, Google+, Tumblr. Just search Backwards Compatible Podcast and you will find us. You can also follow us individually on Twitter. You can catch me at Saber_Breaker. You can catch Jared. Jared, where can people find you at?
You can catch me at Syhowski J.
Aw, yee.
And Chris.
Well, I was waiting for somebody to like. I'm this guy,
I was staring at you.
and you can find me.
Holy shit.
He's gone. Wait, Chris, can you hear us? Are you still with us?
Hardcore
Well-
Sarah, you were like a robot there for a second, so I don't
So
know.
are you. Me and
we
Jared
were all
are fine.
robots.
At Wildcard Corsair, cool, and you can catch
No,
John.
you weren't. You were super robots.
Whatever. You can catch John.
You guys were totally like robots from the future that have come back to the past to.
I know what I'm
kill
doing in the
some
future.
dude.
I'm eating junior mids.
Well, I've got mint-filled Oreos in the cupboard, so.
Oh, good for you.
Well,
man.
I ate the Reese's peanut butter cup Oreos, so y'all are just tripping on something because I got the best.
Apparently, before I get too upset, you can catch John at Radical Defect. And the audience question for this week: are you a dog or a cat person? If neither, are you a dinosaur person? Really, if you could have any animal as a pet, real or fictional, so that John can make the inevitable Pokemon reference, because you know he's going to, what would it be and why? And we will save our answers, Jared. Hold it. Don't give it away. And get our answers next week. So
You're gonna say Sailor Baylor.
it's just
You never know.
never know. So that's that. That's a show, guys. You ready to tear on out of here, off of this crazy train?
That's
Yeah.
right. It's ready. It's time to go back to the future.
Yeah.
Randy, your kids.
It's your kids, Randy. Something's gonna happen to your kids.
They're not going to exist.
Somehow they do, and you don't know how.
Oh man. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Later. Woo.
Bye.